Hello, beautiful souls. I had hoped to go live today and do some card pulls, but unfortunately, with the weather and my internet is just not agreeing with me today. But that's okay. Could be a little bit of full moon magic. Who knows? How are you doing? Because I don't know about you, but for me, it's been a whirlwind. So many emotions have been coming up to be felt, to be moved through, to be expressed, and to be heard. So many triggers have been coming up for me to feel and again move through. And it hasn't been comfortable. There's parts of me who wish that it could be all sunshine and rainbows all of the time, that we didn't have to go through this shadow aspect of self, the shadow aspect of life. But if there was no shadow, would we really appreciate the light? Because this life that we're living isn't just about light. It's not just high vibes and happiness and that escapism almost that a lot of the spiritual community, it feels like that's what they're looking for, always staying high vibe, always staying, in that space, in the other space, and not truly being here in this moment. That spiritual escapism almost. But when we try and escape the darkness, when we try and escape that shadow aspect of ourselves, when we try and escape the density that's here in this plane, life has a way of balancing us out. Life has a way of ensuring that you get the other side of the coin as well. So if we're constantly escaping our reality, or trying to, anyways, saying that we're being enlightened, that we're... I was trying to think of this word earlier, but it's just escaping me. That's okay. I won't use it. But if we're constantly trying to rise above, what are we even doing here? And I feel like this portal and these full moons and all that's going on celestially for the last while even, I feel like I'm saying this all the time, but it's asking us to truly step into embodying our life here on this plane, in this density. Right? It's about embodying and just truly being all of it. The light and the dark, the good and the bad, the fluffy and pretty and the dark and heavy. All of it. Allowing ourselves to fully experience it. And I know so many of us were conditioned to be fearful of those dark, bad emotions. The fear and the anger and the sadness, the sorrow, the despair, all of these emotions that were labeled bad, we have a really hard time allowing ourselves to experience them. But I'll say from my own experience that once we just allow ourselves to really feel it, to truly experience it, to allow that aspect of self and those feelings to have a voice, when we allow them to be expressed and to be heard, they don't hang on the same way that they used to. I remember before I really started this journey, anytime something would set me off or trigger me and I would be in this slump for weeks, if not months, if not years, it felt like some time, when it was just the dark night of the soul, for so long. And it was because I pretended that it wasn't there, or at least I tried to. I didn't truly allow myself to go into the feelings, to follow them, to see where they led, because I didn't want to accept the truth of what was coming up for me. And I didn't know how to move through the emotions, to feel it, because we've been so conditioned not to feel. Pretend everything's okay. Oh no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. How are you doing? I'm fine. How are you? You're not really fine. And that's okay, right? This is something that we don't allow ourselves to say, that it's okay to not be okay. I know there are a lot more out there nowadays versus, when I first started this 6, 7 years ago, 8, who knows how many years it has been now. But there are so many more of us out there that are aware that it's okay to not be okay. That life isn't just a bunch of highlight reels, that there is nitty gritty darkness and yucky emotions in there, and we can allow ourselves to feel them. So, again, I don't know what's been going on for you and what's coming up for you right now. But what this Lionsgate portal is all about is about transformation. It's like gifting you the opportunity to reflect on what is not in alignment with where you want to be or where you want to go. And then it's gifting you the opportunity to do something different, to make a change that can ripple through timelines. I see so many people talking about this Lionsgate portal. Oh, it's all about manifestation and abundance and doing this and doing that. But what if it's not for you right now? What if it's not about creating something beautiful? What if life is so heavy and so on you right now that you feel like you're struggling, that you feel like you're drowning? And I feel like my message today is going to be like, that's okay too. You're not less than because you're not feeling sunshine and rainbows and happiness right now on this portal. That you're not thinking about manifesting and creating an abundance. And that's okay too. It's okay to be where you're at, wherever that may be. Without guilt, without shame, without self-judgment. Because, as I've mentioned before many times, that self-judgment is really the worst thing that we can do for ourselves, is to judge ourselves for where we're at. Because that creates more of a negative spiral, right? When we allow ourselves to judge and shame those dark aspects of self, those dark aspects of life in general. Because you are here as a human. You are a soul in this human body, having a human experience. And a human experience is all about the duality. It's all about the light and the dark, the balance between the two. And if we try and fight it and we try and stay in this light side all the time, it's like encoded in this reality that there is balance. So if you're trying to stay up here all the time, it's going to come smack you down and make you deal with this down here too, whether you want to or not. So I find acceptance is going to be like the most powerful tool. Acceptance and authenticity. It's funny because I picked a card just a little while. I haven't even actually read it yet, but I saw part of it and I'll show you in a minute. Authenticity. Because you know what? There is one frequency. There's one emotion and feeling that is of a higher frequency than love, because everyone's like, what's the highest frequency? It's love. No, actually, It's authenticity. It's being true to yourself, even if it doesn't make logical sense, right? I see this so many times in my clients, in myself, in my friends, my family, in all of us, in humanity in general. We try and rationalize these deep and dark feelings. And like that can definitely help to get us where we need to go in order to understand ourselves a little bit more, or others, to have that compassion. Absolutely. But our subconscious, that part of ourselves that runs this program and creates this reality that you see, that part of ourselves isn't run by logic. It's not. It's not like, oh, well, that doesn't make sense, so let's choose to feel something else. That's not how it works, unfortunately. It's like really getting like real with how you're feeling, even if it's uncomfortable, even if you don't like what it means, even if you don't think you should feel this way. That doesn't matter. Your subconscious doesn't care. It just wants to be seen. It wants to be heard. It wants you to use your voice to speak your truth, to say what is really going on within you, what's alive within you. It wants to be heard. I'll use this like I've used it a few times recently. But what happens when a child is trying to get your attention and you ignore them? They get louder and louder and louder and louder, and they'll explode. Or they'll just shut up and go away and bottle it all up inside. But it doesn't change the fact that it's real and it's happening and it's there. That doesn't change anything. I feel like I'm moving some energy. I got some like energy work burps coming up. So maybe this is what we're going to do. Maybe we're doing a little collective Lionsgate portal clearing. And it really feels like that just doubt. This has been huge for myself, for my clients, for my friends. This self-doubt has been coming up a lot lately. We've been conditioned to doubt ourselves. We've been conditioned to doubt the validity of our feelings. We've been conditioned to doubt our intuition, our knowing, our feelings, everything. But that was on purpose. This conditioning, it's happened on purpose. This doubt was placed within your system for a reason. The doubt was placed here in order to control, to keep you small, to keep you guessing. Because if you weren't doubting yourself, you would be unstoppable. Because you, my friend, are a multi-dimensional, magnificent soul who is creating their own fucking reality. You're doing it. Whether you recognize it or not, doesn't matter. You're creating your reality. So if there was a group of beings that wanted to control you, but you're all powerful, how would they do it? They would make you doubt your magic. They would make you doubt yourself. So we're going to clear some of this collective doubt. Because it's so deeply ingrained in ourselves, this doubt of self, this doubt of our knowing, of our intuition. It's just that self-doubt that is rampant. We're always questioning ourselves. Always questioning ourselves and doubting what we can do. It's that imposter syndrome that comes up and makes you feel small. It's that questioning of those feelings and that intuition and your knowing. It's that doubting that you can do it. The doubting that you're worthy enough to have what you've always wanted. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this. Because once you're confident within yourself, once you no longer doubt yourself, you're unstoppable. Even like I've been doing this for 6-7 years, and I still doubt myself frequently. I don't allow it to rule me. I don't allow that doubt to rule me like I used to. And I acknowledge it and try and release it. But it's still there under the surface a little bit. But my acceptance tells me that's okay too. I feel like I'm reopening that solar plexus that's been shut down, that's been conditioned to doubt, that's been conditioned to second guess. Right? Because when we're second guessing ourselves constantly and we're looking outside of ourselves for validation, we're looking outside of ourselves for truth. And this is where we can be deceived. This is where we can be manipulated into believing something else. And this is how we're controlled. If you're constantly looking outside of yourself for truth, you can't control what's going on out there. You can't control what you're being shown. Others can control what you're being shown, what's coming up at you all the time. And if you choose to make that your focus, you're being controlled. You're being shown what they want you to see, whether you're watching the news in mainstream media or you see what you see in your algorithm, or you see what's in your external reality. But if we can turn this around, if we can turn this focus internally, if we can recognize and remember that you have all of these answers within you, it might be deep down, could be behind blocks and blocks and layers and layers and layers of conditioning and trauma and all of the stuff. It could be under lots, but it's still there. Even those of us who were conditioned to the teeth, or whatever you want to say, whatever saying you want to say, even those of us who were so deeply conditioned still have that feeling of knowing occasionally. When you walk into a room and you feel uneasy, you see a person and you're like, I don't want to hang out with that person. It's because you're reading the room. Your intuition knows. Your body knows what's going on. So it's about remembering this, remembering to tap into that knowing, tap into that intuition, and not allowing that doubt to hold you back from following through on whatever that intuition is telling you. I think that's the biggest lesson that I've learned through my journey. That even when those whispers of doubt come up, that I can still allow myself to follow my intuition. And this is something that I teach my clients, and I want to continue to teach more, is to not allow that doubt to stop you, to not allow that doubt to keep you small. So this is the card we pulled. Perpetua, the saint of authenticity. I am my authentic self in all circumstances. Really claim that. I am my authentic self in all circumstances. And I don't usually read the length of these cards on here, but I really feel like number one, I've had this deck for multiple years now and I've never pulled this card. And the page number is 22. Oh, really? So let's read this card. So who is Perpetua? The Catholic saint Vibia Perpetua shows us the power of authenticity. Perpetua was a married noblewoman and mother living in 3rd century Carthage, which is a modern day Tunisia. Tunisia in North Africa. The Roman Emperor Septimus Severus forbade any conversions to Judaism or Christianity. In celebration of his birthday, several catechumens or Christians being instructed in the faith were arrested. Perpetua, along with a pregnant slave named Felicitas, were among them. Those who would not renounce their faith were sentenced to a public death in the arena. While Perpetua awaited her trial, she kept a prison diary. The Passion of Saint Perpetua has become one of the oldest and most extraordinary early Christian texts. At one point in the Passion, Perpetua describes a visit from her father. He begs her to renounce Christianity, and she asks him, "See that pot lying there? Can you call it by any other name than what it is?" And when her father answers no, of course not, Perpetua continues, "Neither can I call myself by any other name than what I am, a Christian." The name Perpetua is derived from the Latin perpetuus, meaning continuous. Even though her father visited several more times to plead with her to be the dutiful daughter, wife, and mother, Perpetua refused to renounce her faith in Christ, and she maintained this truth as a paramount at a time when a woman's societal role was defined by her father and her husband. Her prison diary also relates her relationship with Saint Felicitas and the class structures that Christianity transcends. Even though one is a noble woman and one a slave, they died in the arena together in 203 CE as equals and as sisters. So this is a collective card for all of us, and when our collective soul selects her card, when we find the courage to be true to who we are, a vitality returns to us. A voice that's both moving and compelling simply because it's authentic. Saint Perpetua's words in her very personal and emotional diary were so impactful that 200 years later, the renowned church father Augustine would write about their beauty and truth. Saint Perpetua suggests that there is no greater power than choosing to remain our authentic self in all circumstances. She's that person who remained loyal to her soul, and she urges us through her example to embrace the power of being authentic now. Even in the face of death, she courageously held fast to her truth that she was a Christian. Her right hand reveals the Christ mudra. She also reminds us that journal writing can be a sacred act of returning to ourselves, of listening to the soul voice inside us, and of going inward to find our answers. Perpetua is a call to a journal writing practice, even if it's just to record our dreams each morning. The inner voice that greets us as we write strengthens our authenticity. That voice becomes a light, a fire that calls to us and claims us as we dare to live out its truth. And the soul voice meditation for this card is, what is the truest statement I can say about who I am? What is the truest statement I can say about who I am? Just let yourself ponder this for a minute. Really feel into it. It's not your career. It's not who you think you are right now. But at your deepest truth, who are you? And I feel like you don't have to have an answer. That's okay. But as long as you recognize that you're not allowing yourself to change and shift just for other people, that you're not choosing to stay small to keep others comfortable, that you're allowing yourself to speak up when you feel like you need to speak up, to say what you need to say to those people, even those we love, if they're hurting us or if they're not meeting some expectations that we may have. So it's really about figuring out who you are, what you need and what you want, and then not allowing yourself to be swayed. I mentioned in one of my stories today that I'm really claiming my own independence, that I'm really allowing myself to ground into my own energy, come back into myself, and I'm not allowing myself to get caught up in the roller coaster of emotions that's not mine, right? I'll follow my own roller coaster, thanks. I don't need yours to take me on this journey. I can do it myself. I feel like there's another card or something that's asking to be pulled. Maybe for my tarot. I was thinking it was going to be my animal deck, but I don't know where it is. It was right here. At least I thought it was. No? Okay. Okay. Trusting, not doubting. Trusting. The Seven of Pentacles. What you're focusing on, what you're choosing to give your energy to, the feelings, the actions, all of it. You're creating that root network. You're creating that foundation currently for what's going to manifest this next year, next 2 years, whoever, how long. You're really creating that right now. You might not see the results, the fruit of your labor right now, but that's kind of the way it goes. It's like choosing to trust. So whenever I do a clearing, we always have to put an affirmation in its place, because when we clear something out, it's going to leave an empty space. And if we just leave it empty, something else is going to come in, whether we want it to or not. So let's be intentional about that. Itchy nose. I know that I know. Really allow yourself to feel that. I know that I know. And I trust in my knowing. I trust in my knowing. And I trust that everything is happening for me and my growth. I trust that everything is happening for me and my growth. And we're going to do a little chant. I was actually chanting this before I tried to hop on live, but it's coming up again. So find a comfy spot, chant with me if you feel it. If you can't chant it out, that's okay. I understand it's hard to use our voice. At least allow yourself to hum along, because humming even activates our vagus nerve, which can bring our body back into rest and restore instead of fight or flight. It can heal our body. It can change the frequency that we are living in. I don't know the name of the artist for this song right off the bat, but I will share it in the write-up when I post this. So may you know in your bones that this earth is your home. May you feel in your soul you are worthy and whole. May you know in your bones that this earth is your home. May you feel that you belong. May you know in your bones that this earth is your home. May you feel in your soul you are worthy and whole. May you know in your bones that this earth is your home. May you feel that you belong. May you know in your bones that this earth is your home. May you feel in your soul you are worthy and whole. May you know in your bones that this earth is your home. May you feel that you belong. May you know in your bones that this earth is your home. May you feel in your soul you are worthy and whole. May you know in your bones that this earth is your home. May you feel that you belong. Deep breath in. Hold it. And let it out with a sigh. Really allow that knowing and that trust to touch every part of your being. Really know that you're here for a purpose. This isn't just some crazy circumstance that led you to being here, experiencing this. It is all divine. It's all happening exactly as it's meant to, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if it's scary, even if you can't see the end results. Because you belong here right now. You are meant to be here right now. And this life is happening for you, not to you. It's happening for you. I pulled another card before we started to chant, and I looked at it, so. The Ace of Swords. So much light, potential, and growth. So much more knowledge and knowing will be able to come in now to come forward. If you like the messages that I'm bringing forward, if you enjoy listening to me, whether it's me rambling or chanting or whatever it is, if you want more, I am offering individual card pulls today for this portal for $22 a piece. So shoot me a DM for that. But I also have a couple containers. So I have my low cost container called Shift. It's for women specifically. We have a beautiful Facebook group where we can share and be heard and seen. Monthly for the full moon, I will come on and do either a live or recorded something. Whatever comes up, whatever needs to be moved through, whether it's a ritual or a ceremony, or it's just talking and pulling cards about what's going on in the world or in ourselves, as well as a red tent practice, which is super potent and powerful in order to really bring in that ritual and routine for us as women, as cyclical beings, and to really be seen and held and supported. So shoot me a message for that as well. Also, for those of you who are wanting to step into your healer, to help others through this awakening that we're currently going through and that more and more of us will be opening up to, whether you're new or not so new at this, but you're feeling like you need more guidance. You're feeling like you really need to figure out how this business of yours is going to work for you as an individual, not just as whoever doing just another modality. I will be opening up a new container called Remember at the end of September. I only have 5 spots because this also contains one-on-one mentorship. So you'll get access to me to help you figure out what's working for you, what's not working for you, and how you can make your own dreams come true. So I'm sending each and every one of you, whether you're watching this today or multiple weeks down the road, I'm sending each and every one of you so much love. Because I know what it feels not to feel okay. And that's okay. And just remember, if you can't be love and light all the time, that's okay, because you're not meant to be. Just allow yourself to be authentic to what you're truly feeling and moving through. That's even more powerful.